Kings back at it on the home floor against the Atlanta Hawks tonight. You want the good news or the bad news?
Let's start with bad news.
The bad news, no DeMar DeRozan tonight, no Malik Monk, and Domantas Sabonis is doubtful.
Yeah,
so
sucks.
it's going to look a little bit like it did the other night against the Utah Jazz. The good news, it's not a back-to-back.
Yay!
So the
I like
Kings
that.
had a day off to get some rest. The Hawks played yesterday, losing in Portland. They had 27 turnovers in that game. But of course, they've got a lot of pieces that can hurt you. First things first, though. Without those key pieces, you're going to be looking kind of the same thing. It's like you need Fox to do his thing, but how much more can this guy do? 109 points in the last two games.
And I want to keep celebrating it, but we don't have time for that, right? The games just keep going on, and it doesn't matter what bodies are in. And so I look at that last game, and I look at some guys that did a great job of stepping up. And that was exactly what this team needed to see from Trey Lyles, even Kevin Huerter knocking some down.
Jordan McLaughlin was big, too.
Yeah, there was a lot of positives in that win. And some people could say, oh, but it was against the Jazz. Doesn't matter. You got it done, and your star player was being a star. Now, the next person that I really want to see step up, and hopefully that day of rest really did help him, was Keegan Murray.
Yeah.
Just because you look at the game against the T-Wolves, he had a double-double, he was rebounding, he was doing great. And then tired legs, whatever it may be against the Jazz, it just wasn't enough. De'Aaron needed one more of his guys to really step up next to him. And hopefully Keegan has that type of game today. And I'm more talking on the offensive end because I think defensively he's always there.
I think that's the one thing with Keegan. Consistently this year, every single night he's brought it defensively, and the rebounding's been good. And I just think the last few games, he's been tasked with defending Markkanen, Booker, Randall, Anthony Edwards. There's not a lot of guys who can do that in the league. And he's also played the second most minutes in the NBA.
That's a lot.
Like Fox and Brown were talking about after last game, we're asking him to do more than ever. And on a night like this, you do need his offense. I think the biggest thing from last game wasn't like, hey, you missed some shots tonight, but you still did. He wasn't taking enough shots. And I feel like he's got to look for his more. And,
Agreed.
If we get in the bigger conversation of dude, maybe this is just too taxing for some of these guys. I mean, if you think about it right now, we were talking early in the season about all the minutes being played by the Kings core guys. Well, two of them are out with back things right now. And you're like, okay, maybe this is a sign you got to trust your bench more. And if, Keegan's fighting through it, you got to make sure the minutes are legit going forward. And I think they've been better lately. But Keegan tonight, I want to see him have an impact offensively. Look for yours more. If you miss the shots, whatever.
But here's the other thing. This is why I'm look for your more tonight. There's no game tomorrow night. There's no game the next night. There's no game the next night.
You got until Friday off.
Get yours. Make sure that you're looking for yours and being that threat. Because, Deuce, even if you're not getting some shots off, let's say, and we'll go into Dyson Daniels in a second and his defense alone, but if you're not getting your shot off, you got to at least look like a threat. And that's all I want to really see from Keegan tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. And the bigger topic that we'll be hitting on and watching, minutes going forward. Because when you see guys like DeMar DeRozan, who hasn't missed a lot of time, missing his third consecutive game with lower back tightness, it's probably precautionary. I get it. You're off till Friday. And then Sabonis has lower back tightness too, and he's doubtful. I'm like, okay, this has to be a sign that the minutes have to kind of come back in order a little bit. And that's why I brought up Keegan Murray, who's played the second most minutes in the NBA this year.
And you've got to make sure that you're talking about that as well.
It's all right, Keegan, go defend at the highest of levels against really premier talent and go rebounding. And, oh, by the way, we need you to be more aggressive offensively. I don't know. The minutes could be problematic in some fashion.
Absolutely. But like I said, become a threat, be a threat.
Yes.
Even if you're not shooting the shit out of the basketball, be that threat. Square up.
Just shoot it. I want to see minimum tonight 15 attempts for Keegan.
That's it. And that's it.
That's it.
That's all I ask for after you do everything else too. That's all I ask for. But no, Deuce, when these other guys are out, especially with Domas being questionable, doubtful.
Yeah, he's doubtful.
As of right now. De'Aaron's going to need that. And it's not only, though, from Keegan. It's like we said, other guys have to step up. And that's what we saw in this last one against the Jazz.
Now, with all that talk about the minutes, it's even more remarkable that De'Aaron Fox is doing what he's doing, because we talk
Incredible.
about this, oh, these guys are dealing with minutes and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, well, De'Aaron Fox is not being impacted at all. This guy has been on another level last couple of games. He had 60 points in that overtime game, 49 points last game against Utah.
Yeah.
He's doing it on all three levels, tremendous pace, physicality, like his ability to change direction.
It's insane.
The fact that last game, at one point, his shoe came off and he got it back on and still had an and one.
I'm buying those shoes.
It's insane
I know.
what he is doing right now. And an interesting matchup because Dyson Daniels.
This guy, long arms, and we've seen what De'Aaron has, how he's played against long arms, or length, I guess I could say, in the past. And what I feel like he's done a much better job this year, he's made adjustments and taken it on in a better way. But Dyson Daniels is another big matchup.
And they did not see him the first matchup when the Kings beat the Hawks a couple of weeks ago. Dyson Daniels, by the way, the numbers on him are just insane. And I've liked him. We called some of his games in the G League Ignite, and you saw the defensive potential, and you wondered, okay, could the offense be something? Pelicans didn't really give him much of a shot. He's in the DeJounte Murray trade, goes to Atlanta. He is averaging 7.3 deflections per game. And it's hilarious because you're like, no, you're just
Like,
funny.
that's like fake.
Perspective. The league leader last year in deflections per game, Alex Caruso, 3.7.
I knew that. That's why I'm like, wait, that's insane.
He's at 7.3.
And it's not like it's a small sample size
No.
anymore either.
I mean, it's... Yeah. Then you look at the steals.
Oh, God. What?
He's had 5 games with 5 or more steals. He is averaging 3.4 steals per game this year. Excuse me, 3.7 steals per game this year.
That's...
I don't want to sugarcoat this. It's going to be a tough matchup tonight. And you think about what's on De'Aaron Fox's shoulders the last couple of games, what he's been able to do. It's been amazing. That's why we go back to the other part. Is like, other guys are going to have to step up. This is a tougher matchup tonight.
Yeah. You look at that number alone for someone like Dyson Daniels, and if that were the person to screw with De'Aaron Fox or even Keegan Murray, talking about these other guys stepping up, it's not just about going to Chuck City and taking your shots. You know, Mike Brown talks about it all the time. If you're open, take the shot. But what we saw last game that we need to see in this game, and why everyone was playing so much better, is because everyone was playing together, getting into the paint, getting those spray threes, and we're generating good shots from three. People were being aggressive on the boards.
Yep.
You're just going to need to see a lot more of that tonight. Again, throughout this entire roster.
I'm excited to see Orlando Robinson get some minutes tonight. I was excited at the prospect of seeing Isaac Jones again because he was playing late in the fourth quarter against Utah, but he was playing for the South Bay Lakers yesterday. And
Why not play again? Why not?
Is he going to play 3 games in a row?
That's fine.
I would love it, but he just played big minutes last night. I don't
Not
know.
my body. I'm like, that's fine. He'll be fine.
We're just talking about minutes and like running guys into the ground. It's like, hey, Isaac, you played last night against the South Bay Lakers in the G League. How about 3 nights in a row? Give us 25 tonight.
Hell yeah.
I don't know.
Dude, obviously too, if you're given those opportunities,
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like, well, no shit, he's going to take them, but it's more like, I feel like adrenaline and other things kind of push through because, again, you have a couple nights off.
Yeah.
Unless for some reason he plays in the Stockton game coming up this Wednesday, then that would be pretty wild.
Let us know how you're feeling about this game, how you're feeling about De'Aaron Fox and the Kings. Let us know in the comments below, and understand we are live after every single game. Hit the thumbs up and subscribe. We finally reached 18,000.
Thank you, guys.
We love you guys. We'll talk to you tonight.
Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo. They tell you what they know. Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo, Deuce and Mo.